reading, going through it again. I mean, I got some more notes. So it was finally at the point where it's just, yeah, we'll get through it now. It's fine. And I tried to keep it around 7.5. Yeah, that says good to me. The I talk about the media, but it's so that I can give them some perspective of where I come from, so they understand why I say some of the things I say. And I talk a lot of times. I talk to a lot of people and ask each other the tough questions. Times is there going to be those? Braden probably would tell you he wasn't really a problem in this class. Oh, you and I talked about it's just kind of like all the things, and they don't get around. Yeah, the immaturity was just mine. I am curious. Who well, no, I think what happened is everybody was thinking the class was taking as a joke. Okay. They nominated like 8 or 9 people, which never happens. And I think I don't remember if he knew he was nominated, and so he was kind of like, things are going, things are going. Yeah. Do you ever have that issue? No. That class is very much. I'll give this to your class president as well. Be a good way for him to start. Well, for a while they had us just wearing polo shirts and khakis. I liked them a lot because they were instructors. Sure. And you are. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Troy Livingston. I am the class coordinator and instructor of police for the 294th Basic Training class. At this time, I ask that you join me in welcoming today's graduates, the 294th Basic Training class. Members of the 294th Basic Training class, and ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and direct your attention to the Hutchinson Police Department Honor Guard for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. 294th, right face. Honor Guard, please post the colors.
294th, center face. Thank you, and please be seated. The Wall of Honor was designed as a reminder of those KLETC graduates who have died in the line of duty. The names and the photographs of the 27 individuals memorialized preserve their memories and give family, friends, and law enforcement officers the opportunity to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the citizens of Kansas. At this time, we'll observe a moment of silence to honor those KLETC graduates no longer with us. Thank you. 294th, please be seated. Members of the 294th Basic Training Class, I am proud of your accomplishments. And on behalf of the administration and everyone at KLETC, congratulations on completing your training. Chief Guy Schroeder began his law enforcement career with the Wichita Police Department in February 1980. During his career with the Wichita Police Department, he rose to the ranks and retired as a lieutenant in June of 2013. While serving Wichita, Guy worked several assignments, including SWAT commander and honor guard commander. He also had detective assignments in the DEA task force, narcotics, burglary, homicide, and robbery. In January 2014, Guy was appointed captain at the Wichita State University Police Department. He was later promoted to interim chief in September of 2021 and was recently appointed the full-time chief earlier this year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my former coworker, Chief Guy Schroeder.
Thank you all. So new officers, new deputies, new chief. Only took me 42 years to get here. We're all in this together. I think I've rewritten this speech 15 times. I haven't written a speech in 25 years. I'm as excited to be here as you are, I hope. Thanks to Instructor Livingston, Troy, for the invite to speak. Thanks to Instructor Osborne for reminding me not to cuss. But most of all, my conversation today is to you new graduates and family members. I'm just like you, just with a lot more experience. And if I can do this, I know after 14 weeks, you have the basics, you can do it as well. Special thanks to all the instructors for their patience, for their hard work, and their dedication as well. What an incredible day on your journey. No, the hard part's not done. Field training yet to come, and the real world sets in after that. It's genuinely humbling to stand before you men and women who have made an incredible choice to join the ranks of law enforcement, especially in the time and the age that we are in. Just an interesting note on a survey I saw 2 weeks ago from the International Association of Chiefs of Police shows 63% in the workforce considering law enforcement are no longer considering that. That speaks volumes for your drive and your character to be here. We have a lot more support from law enforcement here in the state of Kansas, a lot more, I think, than we realize sometimes. What you have decided is not only noble, but it also just in so many ways. We are glad to have you and look forward to the many stories that you will be able to tell in the future. That being said, never forget your roots, no matter what. Your family has to be the most important. You have an obligation to go home at the end of every shift, every day. Always remember that you're loved by many, and they deserve you to be there. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be sacrifices along the way. Shift work, most likely that includes holidays. Call outs, the neighbor knocking on the door on your off-duty time, asking those questions that you're wondering where they could even come up with. Being ever vigilant without making yourself a nervous wreck. Yeah, I still sit with my back facing the door when I'm at the restaurant. Staying in shape to deal with the physical challenges of the job that it requires. The downtime, the mundane calls, the barking dog call, and those immediate emergencies. A roller coaster ride like you will never have been on in your entire life. The mental health situations that are skyrocketing in the country these days that you will face, not only for victims and suspects, but for yourself as well. You have to keep yourself in check. I know this is your day, but just to put some things in perspective, and so you have a little bit of an understanding of where I come from, I want to share a little bit of my career with you. I spent the first 33 and a half years with the Wichita Police Department in patrol and narcotics. Got to kick down a lot of doors, chase a lot of bad guys. Supervised on motorcycles, probably one of my favorite jobs. Got to escort presidents. Got the privilege of taking Terry Nickel, the mastermind of the Oklahoma City bombing, from the federal courthouse to McConnell Air Force Base for him to be shipped to Denver to be tried. Had some of the greatest training I can even explain to you there. I was privileged to serve as a SWAT team commander, worked in homicide, but most of the time I spent supervising the streets of Wichita as a watch commander. Probably my favorite job. I got in more trouble because I was supposed to be 80-20, 80 in the office, and 20 out on the street. Well, I was more like 60-40. And the reports were behind on a fairly regular basis. Worked many major crime scenes all across the city. Was put in charge of the outside courthouse security during BTK trial, Dennis Rader's trial, as we're all familiar with. Natural disasters, many. Probably the day I remember the most is the first day at Greensburg. incredible. There's just no way to even explain that. You will soon be faced with many situations that you could never imagine in your wildest dreams. I delivered 3 babies over the last 42 plus years. I chased pigs on the highway after an overturned truck accident. You getting my point? Okay, there isn't a day the same, and that's the best part. You never know what's coming. That's why I still do what I do. Every single day is different. And my hope is that you understand that this is a calling, a career, and not a job. I ask that you stay focused on your mission. Your boss will ask you to do the same thing. Work for good outcomes. Use the common sense that the good Lord gave you to see the difficult times through. And you're going to meet a lot of people that don't know what common sense is. I talk about my mistakes to the troops on a regular basis. I think they think I've got a permanent soapbox, but I do it so that they won't make the same mistakes that I did. I believe in what we do, and that 99% of us do the right thing every day for the right reasons. We're going to make a difference every single day, some days more than others, and I believe that all of you will do the same. All of us here believe that too. Your integrity, your ethical standards are why you do the right thing every time for the right reasons, whether it is popular or not. Being fair and impartial has to be the norm. Respect is earned, and it has to be given to all, no matter whom you are dealing with or how they treat you. How you treat others is how you will be treated. Think of everyone you come in contact with as a family member. That will make those that challenge you, easier to deal with. Yeah, I've got one of those crazy uncles I want to punch in the nose every time I see him too, but I don't. Don't make it personal. And I repeat myself, don't make it personal. Do your best to be compassionate in all situations. Take care of the vulnerable. Help them find resources they need to take care of themselves. Be open to change. Be a part of your community. Volunteer. Coach. Our youth need a positive role model now more than ever before. Find the things outside of policing that you enjoy and make you happy. Don't let the evil that you may see bring you down. And just because you have some of the best training skills as a motorcycle officer, when your spouse decides to ride along, don't scare the bejeebies out of her. I have several times in the mountains. She doesn't go to the mountains with me anymore. I haven't figured it out. And she's still with me 39 years in August. Who would have ever thought? I've been a critical incidents peer support team member since 1988, since the origin of what we call peer support. I've sat and listened to young and old officers alike in every kind of situation that you can imagine, under all kinds of traumatic circumstances, and their families as well. My phone's always on the hook. My door's always open. If I can be assistance, you'll know where to find me. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. It's imperative that you keep yourself in check. Look out for each other. Ask the hard questions of each other. If you have concerns and times are tough, talk through difficult and stressful moments. They need to be talked out. Take the time to care for and about your department brothers and sisters. They're your family too. Be brave. We run to the gunfire. We chase the bad guy. We are the thin blue line between order and chaos. A final thought. What will your legacy be? Start now. Be professional. Be patient. Be respectful. Be empathetic. Everyone you meet is facing his or her own battles. Help them get through it as best you can. Thanks for your attention today. So, to the 294th Basic Training Class, God bless you all. And for those of you that have ever seen Hill Street Blues from an old watch commander, let's be careful out there. Thank you.
So, Chief Schroeder, on behalf of the 294th Basic Training Class, staff administration, we'd like to say thank you for coming here and speaking to us today. We'd like to present you with this plaque. Thank you, sir. There you go. Shake your hand. We'll look forward like this in case anybody wants pictures. I'll put it over here. I'll get it for you. Thank you. What Chief Schroeder failed to tell you is I was the best employee he ever supervised. It's important to recognize those student officers who have excelled in various professional skills during their basic training. Fitness is a key component in an officer's life. It helps them manage the daily stress they will face and aids them in maintaining a healthier lifestyle, which will enable them to better mitigate the dangers they will encounter. All members of the 294th Basic Training Class were active and engaged in a fitness routine during their time here at KLETC. Some of them, however, have gone the extra mile. The 200-Mile Club was created to recognize those student officers that complete 30 push-ups in a minute, 30 sit-ups in a minute, and run a mile and a half in 18 minutes or less. Additionally, they have to log 200 miles or more by running, walking, cycling, or a combination of those activities. We'd like to recognize one individual for his exceptional hard work and the substantial number of miles that he logged during his efforts in the 200-Mile Club. The 294th Basic Training Class had one officer who completed these goals and two others that were very close. Officer Stephen Robertson from the Atchison Police Department, please join me at the podium. Officer Robertson, this medal is awarded to you for logging the most miles and being a member of the 200-Mile Club. Congratulations. Go forward. The Firearms Top Shooter Award recognizes the student officer from the 294th Basic for their firearms proficiency. Officer Braden Taylor from the Wichita State University Police Department, please join me at the podium. Officer Taylor has shown skill and proficiency during both the firearms qualification and during the tactical shooting drills. Shooting is a perishable skill and requires constant effort to maintain your abilities, and you have shown that effort and practice pays off, so well done. This medal is to award you for being the top shot for the 294th Basic Training Class. KLETC also recognizes student officers who excel in academics by placing them on the Director's Honor Roll. To be placed on the Director's Honor Roll is a substantial accomplishment, and a student must achieve a total average on written examinations of 94% or higher. The 294th Basic Training Class has 2 students on the Director's Honor Roll, which I don't think we've had two for quite a while. Would Officer Caitlin Morris of the St. George Police Department and Deputy Christine Satani from the Waubonsee County Sheriff's Office please stand to be recognized for this achievement? Deputy Satani, please join me at the podium. As a further honor, the student with the Director's Honor Roll, that's on the Director's Honor Roll with the highest overall academic score is awarded the Larry Welsh Award of Academic Excellence. The award is named after KLETC Director and retired Kansas Bureau of Investigations Director Larry Welsh. On behalf of the instructors and the staff at the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, it is my privilege to announce that Deputy Christine Satani is the recipient of the Larry Welsh Award for Academic Excellence for the 294th Basic Training Class. With Christine's permission, I'm happy to announce her final average was 94.52. Congratulations.
Keep it up here, okay? You can get it.
I will tell you the difference between our two were about, what I say, 3/100ths of a point. So it's very close. It's now time for the class president of the 294th Basic Training Class to deliver a few brief remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 294th Basic Training Class, Officer Dustin Hipsch, I've been saying that wrong for 14 weeks, but I finally got it right, of the Pittsburgh Police Department.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to welcome you to the 294th Basic Training graduation here at the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. I'd like to start by saying thank you on behalf of the 294th class. Thank you to our spouses and significant others. Thank you to our children. Thank you to our families. Without you, none of us would be sitting on this stage. You let us turn your world upside down 14 weeks ago when we left for this part of our journey. I cannot express enough how grateful we all are to have you in our corner. Thank you to the chiefs, sheriffs, and other department leadership members who gave us the opportunity to represent you in our communities. You saw in us what we may not have seen in ourselves. You pushed us forward both here and back at home in our departments. You gave us the tools for success, and in return, we take our place before you ready to work. Thank you to the staff at KLETC, from the kitchen staff who kept us fed to the cleaning staff who made sure we had a clean place to work. We were surrounded by people who worked diligently behind the scenes to make this experience possible. The administration staff always ran smoothly, and the maintenance crew kept all the facilities in working order, and we can't forget the incredible instructors who shared years of real-world experiences with us. Without you all, none of this would have been possible. Finally, to my class, it was Henry Ford that said, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Thank you for pushing each other when things got difficult. Whether it was during OC, street investigations, the range, or EVO, we came together when it counted. We survived even when others had their doubts, and this journey hasn't been easy by any means. We may not always get along. During our time together, we had many disagreements and differences in opinion. However, I believe that this is somewhat to be expected when you get a large group of people together from all different backgrounds. Throughout the course of our training, it is because of this diversity that I have learned something from each and every one of you. I can only hope that you each return home with something you've learned from one of us as well. The return home. It's hard to believe that we've made it to the end. Today, we'll go on to celebrate with our friends and families. Maybe go to dinner, maybe go home and take a well-deserved nap. We'll return back home to create a normal schedule again. We'll return back home to our communities. With everything that you've learned during this whirlwind adventure, I'd like to leave you with one more thing. We are all on this stage today, like the many who have come before us, because we have answered a primal calling to protect and serve. Today, we are welcomed into a family of blue, extending our own definition of family tremendously as we are accepted by hundreds of brothers and sisters of the force. These brothers and sisters will become your new stronghold. You'll rely on them, trust them, help them, and collaborate with them. Your working relationship will become stronger as you work with them each day. Your personal relationship will grow with them as you attend barbecues and have kids that perform in the same Christmas recitals. These team members, these family members, will understand you in a way that no one else can, because they are the ones right beside you when you go through it. Lean on a shoulder when you need it, and be sure to have your own shoulder on standby. Beyond the badge is an even larger family that we have all adopted today. This family is the community that we return home to. As public servants, it is our duty to protect and serve. We do this by becoming a beacon of hope, honor, respect, and professionalism. We carry the burden of being the ones faced with making the tough decisions. We must walk through those situations with compassion and humility. We must also understand that if we create trust within these communities, we have others outside the badge to come to our aid in our hour of need. My parting message to you today is a challenge. I challenge you to go home and work towards bridging the gap between the citizens of our neighborhoods and those who stand to protect them. Get involved with your community. Interact with your fellow neighbors and new family members. Go home and get informed about resources that your community offers. By being able to pass on this knowledge, you can make someone's bad day just a little bit less stressful. Interact with the children who look up to you. Show them that you aren't the bad guy, that you aren't the scary one. Build a rapport with your community so that you can run like a well-oiled machine. In closing, I look forward to watching you all grow and become the officer that this world needs. It has been an honor and a pleasure to have spent this time with you. I have the deepest respect for each and every one of you and know that you will go forward to make your departments proud. Never lose your integrity and always strive to be better tomorrow than you were today. Thank you.
Dustin, we'd like to thank you for being the class president. On behalf of the KLETC staff and administration, I'd like to present you with this plaque. Congratulations. Thanks. In law enforcement, ethics is at the forefront of training and our profession. The law enforcement oath of ethics information is a constant reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. This is something we've discussed in depth during your time here at KLETC. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. A law enforcement officer assumes great responsibility when they affirm the oath of office. They have entered the position of being role models and leading by example. They are enforcers of the law and protectors over our communities. I'll now ask our class president to lead the class in reciting the law enforcement oath of office affirmation.
294th Basic Training Class, please stand. Oath.
I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States, the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve.
Class 294, please be seated. In a few moments, you will be presented with a challenge coin. And a challenge coin is symbolic, meaningful, and given to someone as a reminder of what they have accomplished or to confirm membership in an organization. Today, the coin will recognize you as a graduate of KLETC. I ask that you carry it with you as a reminder of the lessons learned and the friendships forged at your time here at KLETC. On the back of the coin is the oath that each of you affirmed just moments ago. Carry it with you and let it be a constant reminder to always do the right thing. Graduates, it's been my honor and distinct pleasure to be your class coordinator and in some small part of your journey. I wish you nothing but success and happiness in the future. I will now ask KLETC Associate Director Alvin Sowers to join me on the stage to present the members of the 294th Basic Training Class with their certificates while I present each of you with a KLETC Challenge coin. Class President Dustin Hipsch will announce the names.
Front row, please stand. Jamal Al-Kabari, Harper County Sheriff's Office. Brett Allen, Kansas City Public Schools Police Department. Nate Andre, University of Kansas Police Department. Karina Angeles, Goodland Police Department. Jarrett Barbrich, Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. Amy Bliss, Elk County Sheriff's Office. Corey Califf, Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. Matthew Harris, University of Kansas Police Department. Front row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Second row, please stand. Todd Kleinschmidt, Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. Chance Cressman, Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. Diego Medina, Dodge City Police Department. Rogelio Meza Garcia, Dodge City Police Department. Caitlin Morris, St. George Police Department. Danielle Nelson, Ellis Police Department. Yasmin Nichols, Kansas City, Kansas Community College Campus. Meg O'Leary, Dodge City Police Department. Second row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Third row, please stand. Edward Rivera Jr., Valley Falls Police Department. Alec Roberts, Barton County Sheriff's Office. Stephen Robertson, Atchison Police Department. Christine Satani, Wabunsee County Sheriff's Office. Nolan Smith, Hayesville Police Department. Caleb Tatro, Meade County Sheriff's Office. Braden Taylor, Wichita State University Police Department. Jesse Troughton, Colwich Police Department.
And Dustin Hibish of the Pittsburgh Police Department. Third row, please be seated. Please be seated. It's always refreshing to see the family and coworkers, many of them that I'm getting old enough that I've trained, and they remind me that it was a long time ago. And I understand it is a long time ago. So thank you to the families for coming. It means a lot to these folks. And thank you to the administrators and coworkers that come as well. We appreciate that. I'll ask the class of 294 to please stand. On behalf of Director Beck, I hereby certify that each and every one of you has successfully completed the requirements to be Kansas law enforcement officers. Congratulations. And for the words they've been waiting 14 weeks to hear, class dismissed.